Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy AJ. I'm here with Sane and Chubbs. We got the breaking news today about Donovan Mitchell, so we're about to break it down for you guys. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. YouTube, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter. I think we're on YouTube and just Twitter today. But we want to talk about this Brian Windhorst. I'm about to play the clip, what Brian Windhorst said about the potential teams in the market for Donovan Mitchell, and we're coming off just a breaking loss. The Celtics have just advanced to the next round.
Say multiple teams are preparing trade packages. Sage one.
Well,
who might we be thinking about?
I'll offer up three. The Lakers know that they need to improve their roster. They're going to be hunting for a star. We can debate about whether the 3-star method is the best thing to do in the modern NBA, but the Lakers have 3 first-round draft picks. Potentially they could make an offer. What would happen here, I think, if Donovan chose not to extend, he would be able to kind of direct the trade a little bit, because with 1 year on his contract, the Cavs can't get a premium unless the players stay. We've seen this play out over the past. And again, I just want to underscore this because I have to deal with Cleveland. I'm not saying he's leaving, okay? The other thing I would say is the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat have been star hunting for a year now. They're always star hunting. They have some players on their roster who potentially be interesting in Cleveland, not as deep in draft picks, though, as the other ones. And the third team I'll bring up, Brooklyn. Brooklyn has been, building up. Brooklyn doesn't control their drafts. Their future drafts are all controlled by the Houston Rockets. They are not in a rebuild mode. They want to build back up, but they have the Suns draft assets, and the Suns draft assets are potentially very valuable 3 or 4 years from now. They also have some good young players, and it's in the Eastern Conference, and Donovan Mitchell is from the New York area. So there will probably be more suitors. I think Houston potentially, but those 3 teams will be at the top of the list if Donovan, in a month or so, makes it clear he's not going to extend.
Yes. So a little background on Donovan, right? So Donovan did grow up in Westchester. I forgot the exact town in New York, but Westchester, New York. His dad worked for the New York Mets, so that's a big key. Everybody knows Donovan's a big Mets fan. He grew up a Mets fan. I think I was reading he had like Mike Piazza on his wall growing up, and all the Mets legends. So he's a New York kid. Like, he loves New York. He wants to come home. Going back to the Utah Jazz, when he was on the Utah Jazz, his preferred trade destination was Brooklyn, the Knicks, and Miami. Those were the 3 places that he wanted to be traded to, allegedly, when he left the Utah Jazz. But we all know Danny Ainge was like, I don't want to trade you to where you want to go. I want the best package. So he took the Cleveland deal and sent Donovan to Cleveland for about 3 first rounds and I think 3 pick swaps. Was it 4 or 3? I think it was 3 first and 3 pick swaps. Okay. Let me sound. I gotta send Cypher the link. But yeah, so what was you guys' impression? I mean, we've seen the breadcrumbs of the Donovan Mitchell trade possible offer and him coming to the Nets. But what was your guys' reaction when you saw the report today?
I wasn't surprised. I mean, if you think about it, he's just giving more concrete to stuff that's kind of already been a little more detailed. But I mean, we all kind of knew this. We all knew he wanted to come. He wants to come to New York. I mean, I'm not saying, like, we knew the Nets were interested. We knew he would be interested in the Nets. And the question really comes down to is, like, how high of a price is he going to go if that's the case that he wants out of there? Because the key thing is he's got to say, I want out, or some kind of conversation has to be had.
Yeah, because he's gonna be a free agent in 2025, but he has to decide: am I gonna extend in the summer, or am I gonna deny that extension? If he denies that extension, the Cavs have to trade him. I don't see other way. Like, you're gonna either let him walk in 2025, or you have to trade him. And I just see the Cavs gonna trade him if he denies that extension in the summer.
Well, I mean, dude, and I'll say this, and then Chubbs hop in here. It's like, he's going to take a chance on free agency. Like, there's no way he doesn't. Like, I can't imagine this guy doesn't want to. If a trade doesn't happen, then he and he stays with Cleveland, and then it's like, I just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, he got to test the market out, and like he basically, because he didn't want to go to Cleveland. Like, that was, people think, I know he's like, he played well and he did what he did, but his original plan was not to go to Cleveland. It's just Danny Ainge was trying to soak up all the draft picks he could get and get whatever he can.
And sometimes you're one of those players in the NBA until you do. Like I heard somebody else say it tonight, and there is some level of truth to it, where it's like at certain point in your NBA career, then you start getting the ability to kind of say, "Nah, I want to go over here." But sometimes, just on your way up, you lose that. Like you're just at the whim of whatever GM's throwing you around, and it's like he's about to be in full control, and it's like how this doesn't not move towards some kind of action, that would surprise me. You know what I mean? So I wasn't like, it didn't really change anything for me today.
Shout out to the chat. The chat said Elmsford, New York. Thank you. Donovan is from Elmsford, New York. So shout out to all the people who are from that area. Yeah, go ahead, Shoves.
Yo, what up, please?
Honestly, just to piggyback off what Saint said, it's pretty much confirming what was honestly speculated. I remember last time when he was available to trade for, Brooklyn was on his list.
Yeah.
It honestly just confirms what was speculated. For it to be a trade, it comes down to what the Cavs kind of want, and if Mitchell kind of kills their leverage, they're more likely going to want players to put around Garland more than they would want picks. But that's just my guess. For one, I think we can put a package together that doesn't gouge out all of our assets. Like we don't have to give up all the Phoenix picks. We can probably give up at least one of either the Philly or Phoenix pick, and probably a wing like DFS or Cameron Johnson to kind of get that package to work.
Yeah, because I think that's where the divide comes in Nets world is there's the people that want Donovan on a team, and then there's the people that want to rebuild, and then there's the people that will do the Donovan trade, but we want the price to be down. You feel me? So it's like we want the price to be fair. We don't want to.
I'll say this with the people that want to rebuild: you're going to need way more than just those picks we have. You're going to need more. We don't necessarily have a war chest. We need something of what the Pistons have. We need what the Thunder have. What now the San Antonio Spurs are building. You need at least more than 10 first-round picks going forward. You need more than that.
Yeah.
And like granted, these picks are valuable. You need to make sure those count. And like there's a reason it's called the lottery damn near. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So you need more picks than just having the handful we have. Like you need a war chest.
Yeah,
my whole thing with the Mitchell thing is like I like Mitchell, but I'm not like 100% like, oh my God, like we got to get him. And it's like, or he's like the ultimate needle mover, because I'm still under the impression that I want to add one more person to your list, AJ, is that like the Nets have been telling you what they're going to do. And it's like, if they actually are going to make a play for Mitchell, and I hope to God, if they are, they're not, I mean, listen, I think it is a normal thing of any fan that it's like, if you're vocally pretty much telling people that you're star hunting, you're going to go after, and it's, now you got Brian there telling you, yeah, hey, this is like, it's all but there. It's like, this is the part where I'm nervous. It's like, how much are you going to pay? And are you going to be smart enough to step out on a guy like he has a lot going for him. He'd be the best player on our team, but it's like, if you make the move for him, what are you giving up, especially right before free agency? It's like, come on. And it's like, and that the other factor is like, are you just going to make that move and then just go into money management? Because you also can't tell me that they're not looking at like staying under the tax thing as well. Like there's a lot at play here of like, what are they willing? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like they've told you we have paths that we want to do. It's like, well, we want to stay under the tax, but stars want to come here, and we're still going to go develop our youth, and we want to sign it. Like, you get where I'm going with this?
No, I get what you're going. I mean, and that's a great segue, because I was talking to Rage and Siphon about like the package that we would offer, and we all know that Cam Thomas is going to be the center. Cam Thomas will be the center of this deal. I know fans don't want to hear it, and I know you guys don't want to hear it, but he will be the center of this deal. And then we got to think about matching salaries. So I'm thinking we were talking about Cam Thomas.
Pause on that. Just that statement alone, though. Like, and I gotta hear chat. Like Cam, because I'm not making that claim yet, but I have steadily been on the record, audio. It's gonna cost you somebody if you're gonna go star hunting and you're going to make a trade the way the Nets are kind of telegraphing that that's what they want to do. Yeah. Like it's gonna hurt. It's gonna cost you somebody.
Yeah. So
like I said, I've been.
What's up, Cypher?
Hey, you go ahead, Cypher.
I've been saying that for a while, and it's that's the problem that fans really hate talking about, because we can't just give up the things that we don't want and expect to get Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
you gotta give to that.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I was talking with Cypher earlier, and I'm like, so Cam Thomas is going to be the center, and then we think about matching salaries. So I'm willing to give them CJ and DFS. At first, I wanted to put Dennis in there, but I realized if we gave up Dennis, we would have no point guard. We would be fucked. We'd be fucked if we have no point guard.
You don't have to give up both of
our
we
also
keep one of DFS or CJ if possible. You don't have to give up both.
DFS, I mean, for Donovan, bro,
you still need that wing, that 3-and-D wing kind of.
No, I'm just talking about matching salaries, because Cam Thomas is not enough to match the salaries. So, like, if you want to match salaries, we would have to do DFS and CJ. I think that would be somebody who cook up the trading machine. Like, let me know if that works.
Now I will say this: I did see something earlier, and then I was thinking about it. Like, we're just gonna play the what if game, right? Like, this is not what I want to happen, so nobody freak out. And then I'll mention what I'll say, Marlene, what she said about Cam. Like, no, you know what? First, I'm going to address this. Like, there was a point that the Cavs were interested in Cam Thomas, correct?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up, because Eric Slater dropped. No, I'm sorry. It was Billy Reinhart. Billy Reinhart dropped an article by Brian Lewis, or that the Cavs offered us. They offered an offer for Cam after his rookie year. It was a trade offer after his rookie year. They wanted Cam Thomas after his rookie year. So imagine after his rookie year, Sean Marks gets a call from the Cavs GM like, "Yo, what do you want for Cam Thomas?" That didn't work out. So now we fast forward. Cam Thomas is even better than he was his rookie year. So it doesn't make sense to me. If you're thinking, okay, to this guy Marlene, Cam Thomas will not be the center. How can he not be the center? He's probably our most valuable asset right now. If you think about it, think clearly about this roster. Who is our most valuable asset? Nick Claxton's not on the roster anymore.
Hey, Jake, can they put him out there saying he's untouchable? Yeah, but then you get ready to spend all your picks and everything else.
Yeah,
then that means you'd have to throw Clowney on the table. That means anybody you just drafted last year. It's like, if you're putting a no trade tag on him, then everything else has got to be on the table.
Because the Cavs,
how do you do that?
The Cavs are going to be losing a dynamic scoring guard. They're going to want that back with Cam Thomas. He kind of like fits I'm not saying he's Donovan Mitchell, but he fits that type of scoring dynamic guard arc to pair with Darius Garland as a point guard. So the defenders thing, I'm clueless why they want defenders. Defenders are nice, but they have Isaac Okoro. They got a couple of guys that can defend. They got Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Isaac Okoro, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, those are all great defenders. I mean, rim protectors, and you got defenders. So it's like, what are you talking about? They want defenders.
This is the part that I have. This is the part, undo. He said Sean Marks is our GM, and because for all we know, it's like they could go into some kind of negotiation, and it's like, my biggest thing is just show me that Sean Marks that you learned like a couple lessons from your past trades. Yeah. And just be a little bit, and I know, like, I'm not saying wait till the last minute, but like, don't be desperate. Like, if you're trading for a guy that's going to be a free agent very soon, he wants to be in New York. Like, come on, dude, don't be desperate. Don't get yelled at again. Don't get told to get back on the phone. You're like,
don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm very nervous about Sean doing this. Yeah.
Hey, listen, if I find out that if we go into this offseason and they go into negotiations and Sean Marks walks away and is like, no, and then you find out later that they wanted like some Utahian level shit, then no, I'll applaud Sean Marks want him to be stupid either. Like
Yeah.
I'm nervous, but fuck.
Okay.
Geez.
So going back to the trade offer, like that. This is just a thing that me and Rage was talking about. But DFS, CJ, Cam Thomas, and 2 firsts. I don't know if that gets it done. Let me know in the chat if that gets it done, or drop your trade packages in the chat. I think that could get it done, but I
It would
don't
have
know.
to be our 2 best firsts.
Two
first
of our best
Phoenix?
valuable firsts. It has to be Phoenix. Yeah, it has to be Phoenix.
So
Phoenix
all,
picks.
so all the Phoenix picks. I don't know.
2027, and what would you say, Syfe? It was 2029?
2029.
Yeah, so 2027, 2029, Suns, CJ, CT, and Dorian Finney. I don't know if that gets it done, but that would be a potential trade offer that for Donovan. I'm not saying I want to give up CT, but like I said, you have no other choice if you're trying to get Donovan Mitchell.
Something else we also got to factor in is the Lakers are interested, and they could offer 2 unprotected firsts and 2 unprotected pick swaps. So we got to compete with that.
Well, that was my
Exactly.
next question. That was a good point, Cypher, because that was my next question was like who are the real other threat to pull it out to get him? But
Well,
yeah.
the Lakers and then
Miami.
So the thing with Miami is because they made so many trades, they only have really like 1 tradable first and then a pick in this draft in Tyler Hero. So not much. I mean, it depends how Cleveland views Tyler Hero.
All these teams don't really have as many assets as us, in my opinion. But like I said, the Lakers might have better players if they offer up Austin and Rui. But I see them going for Trey. Like the Lakers could go either way. They can go for Donovan or they can go for Trey.
It's probably easier to get Donovan. I mean, not Donovan. I mean Trey.
To Trey, you think
I think it's probably easier for them to get Trey. Yeah.
Yeah. If they put Austin and Rui on the map on the block, it makes things a lot easier for them to like get it pushing. Like So I think if they give up Austin and Rui, then they could be in the hunt. But as far as Miami, I feel like we can outbid Miami. I mean, I think they would want to keep. Would they give up Tyler Hero? Because they didn't want to give up Tyler Hero in that Damian Lillard trade.
His value is so low now. Like compared to what it was years before, he was going for Kevin Durant trade talks, and now do we even trade him for Mikal Bridges? Like that's how low his value is now. So I think the key part of this is what do the Cavs want in a Donovan Mitchell trade? And what does Donovan Mitchell want in a Donovan Mitchell trade? If he wants a specific location, then it's all in the Cavs. It's the ball's in their court.
He has more leverage, is what you're saying. Yeah.
If they want immediate impact players to build around Mobley and Garland, then you would go for the DFSs. Then maybe you go for the Tyler Heroes. But if you want picks, you'd go for the Lakers. You ring them up for those unprotected picks. Not even the Lakers. You go to OKC, see what they want. You go to the Rockets, see what they want. Like you go to the teams that want the picks. And the fact that only the Lakers, the Heat, and the Nets are kind of in that mix, it kind of shows they don't really value draft capital. They kind of want more impact players like the Austin Reeves, the Ruiz, the DFS, the Tyler Heroes. They want those players to build around Garland potentially.
Yeah. No, and I'm glad you said that, bro, because when I listened to that Windhorst clip, there's another clip where he said that Donovan might be able to direct where he wants to go because unlike Dame, unlike some of these other guys, he's going to be a free agent in 2025. So if he tells the Cavs, listen, if you trade me here, I'm going to tell the Lakers I'm not signing. I'm not extending because I don't want to be here. Or if you trade me here, I'm not going to extend. So that kind of gives them a little bit more leverage to work with the GM and be like, yo, I won't go here. And you can, I want to extend. I want to be here for a minute, So like, if that's the case, if he does that, some type of stuff like that, like, listen, I want to be in that, or I want to be in New York. So if you don't trade me somewhere else, I might just leave in 2025. So you're going to have to think like the GMs of the other teams are going to have to think in the back of their heads, like, okay, should we throw everything in the bag for Donovan and he might leave in that same year in 2025? So it's like, it makes you kind of pull back like, let me not throw all these picks in.
Can we throw in the conversation here? Like and then this is where I think Cypher will have most of the knowledge. Donovan Mitchell's if longevity with the Nets. Like how do you foresee that panning out?
You mean how long
Yeah,
Las
like
Vegas.
how do you think he's going to be another expensive guy that's on the bench?
Oh, you mean his health?
Yeah.
So generally speaking, like Donovan Mitchell has been like a healthy player for most of his career. It just this year he is having probably the most injury prone year of his career, which is a bit of a concern because he is like he's not young, like he's turning 28. And that's when injuries could start popping up, in your career. So that would be a concern because he played only 55 games this season and he missed a bunch of playoff games.
Yeah. Yeah.
His play style is pretty explosive.
I saw Sam Bob tweeted shout out to Sam Bob. I saw him tweet about that. Like he's had a lot of lower leg injuries, and then his game is really a lot of it's about burst and explosion off the dribble. That's a big part of his game.
That makes me I gotta ask that quite honestly, like if you're for me as a fan, like I just gotta ask that question about anybody that is potentially
Would you consider him injury prone? Let me know in the chat. Would you guys consider Donovan injury prone?
I'm asking. I want to know people.
I wouldn't consider him injury prone, but
like
it is
injury prone or Ben or
I guess do you see his game aging well, and do you see it like?
No, I don't.
No, you don't, Cypher.
No, he does rely on his athleticism. Like he is a very athletic player. Like if he does lose any of it,
he has a bag. No, don't do that because he has a bag. Like he has pull up threes, pull up. I mean, he does. Like I said, the burst is good, but he still can pull up three, pull up midi. Like he can score at all three levels.
James Harden.
Well,
he has
that's if you consider him to rely on his athleticism like a Russell Westbrook type of player.
Donovan can shoot though.
I'm saying it's a little more than just fully on the athleticism side. Like he has somewhat of an offensive bag, but he does kind of contribute a lot of that to his burst, to his off the dribble speed, and kind of a lot of it is his athleticism. So I understand it. I understand.
Yeah, it is. It's a mixture of both. It's like athleticism and skill because he has skill, a lot of really great skills, but it's just a mixture of both.
A great comparison I could come up with is James Harden. Like James Harden wasn't really known for his athleticism, but he had a quick burst. And then when that hamstring happened, he was basically 70% of what he used to be. And we saw how much of a problem that was.
Yeah, I agree. That burst was key. Like his first step, James Harden's first step was almost everything. And then when it went away, it was like we didn't recognize James Harden anymore. But yeah, let us know in the chat. I'm gonna read some comments. People are saying, you guys are arguing in the chat right now. That's fans only want Spider because he got a name.
Shout out to Worley, by the way. Shout out.
Morleen said, questions to speakers. Do you think Mitchell can replace the production of DFS, Cam Johnson, and Cam Thomas? Of course.
Okay, outside of Cam Thomas, what did DFS and Cam Johnson do this
year? Right?
No, I'm sorry. I understand if you don't want D-Mitch, but let's get a little realistic. Half of this team couldn't even put together 10 points, gun to the back of their head.
Yeah.
We literally saw this team struggle to put 20 points together in one quarter.
I'm sorry. I'm ready for CJ to get off the team. I'm ready for. I know people want to give CJ a second chance, but I'm ready to scam. They call him Scam Johnson on that's Twitter. I'm ready to get scammed.
To be fair to those players,
like a solid good 3 months of good shooting and just disappeared.
You know what's crazy? The messages that the Nets have allowed to come out while going into this Mitchell situation is like they've allowed DFS to talk like he's still going to be here next year. They've put out all this stuff that they've recorded, and they're all like saying all the right things, and it's just like I'm not seeing how this is all going to work out. And I'm wondering how much similar the team is going to look.
Yeah, like I don't. That's on.
I mean, we already know a bunch of role players are going to be new. We know there's a lot of 1-year dudes. We know some guys are going to get out of there and go potentially play somewhere else.
Yeah.
But
I'm most scared of if it's not really about like how much Sean's gonna spend for Donovan. I think he's gonna have a good like offer. I'm more scared of the after effect, like building around Donovan. Once Donovan gets here, then building around him. Like, that's what I'm scared of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like that part.
But okay, so this is what I was gonna say before. Say they do make the trade, right? And this is not even about like having Cam Thomas in this trade. It's more about like, say they do get rid of CJ or DFS's contract, right? And then you do get Mitchell, and they don't really go crazy after they get him, right? Like whatever, the year is the year. But then you're going into the offseason with a Ben Simmons contract that's expiring and all the potential. Like, does that something different, right? Does that make it easier to people like that? Like,
You're
That's a
then
great
relying
question.
on 2025 free agency to do something.
dude, to me, there's no way the Nets are. That is not partially in the Nets'. There's no way.
No, I agree that's a
I
part of the
wouldn't be
plan, but
surprised they have
it's risky.
2025 as
there has to be some kind of plan in 2025 to spend some money. If you're trying to routinely stay under the tax, Ben Simmons' contract is coming off the books.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, you gotta think in those terms too. And I don't know if that's like their 1-2 punch. Like, because they've given you so many mixed messages about wanting to keep a rookie and then him being available. Like, and that's why I'm not like really biting into anything right now, is because I don't put shit past Sean Marks or anything of what they might pull to either save face, or are they going to be like super, like everybody thought they were going to get Dame. They passed on Dame. People were talking about the other. They passed, and they kept putting it out. No. We don't want any part of all that. We'll see if that's.
Because Bobby Mark said the 2025, like the Nets were capable of having like 80 million in cap space, some crazy number in cap space money. Yes. So if we do get Donovan, right, we're still gonna have enough cap space to like get somebody else. But that's the thing, who's gonna be outside of that time? Because Brandon Ingram, he's supposed to be a 2025 free agent, but they might trade him, so we don't know where he's gonna go, if he's gonna be out there.
I mean, you already know what the answer is. They're gonna continue to look for a star, and if it fits their plan, they'll make the move. And if it doesn't, then they're gonna give you the same. Oh, well, we're just gonna still develop what we got here, and we're gonna be patient.
Yeah, we're gonna be patient. Not a Sean Marks impression is hilarious. Yeah.
The thing that scares me about that strategy is, I understand it. In order for the strategy to work, you do need at least one star level player in 2025 free agency. But then I just don't know who. Like, I really don't know who would come here in 2025 that's really that good. That's a guaranteed all NBA caliber player.
Mm-hmm. If Donovan's here, you mean? Or
if Donovan is here.
If Donovan's here. I think makes it a more attractive, because the reason Donovan is here, well, if he chooses us, is because of he wants to be home. Like, he wants to be close to his family, kind of like the similar Kyrie thing. I'm not gonna say like he was a Nets fan growing up, but he was close to the New York area. He wants to be in the family, wants to, raise a banner here. Like, that's probably the reason why Donovan would want to come to Brooklyn. Because I know somebody said, shout out to Claude. He said he wants to go to a title contender. That may be true, but some people value things differently. You know what I'm saying? Some people think like
to see it, like, because you can't tell me that if he was given the option of like the Nets or the Knicks, he would probably choose the Knicks right now. I bet.
Yeah.
But
like he wants to like build something. I think the same kind of mindset Kyrie had. He wants to build like something over here, like a culture, a team where you can win a championship at his home state where he's from. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's going to be interesting to see about him. Does he value being home more than he values being on a title contender?
Yeah, that's where we got to understand.
That's what's going to be interesting. And it's like, I'm sure it's going to be a lot like Dame. Dame's going to give him he's going to give him a few locations, if that's where the conversation goes, and then they're going to start talking, and then we'll see. Because it's not even a guaranteed. It's not a guarantee.
Oh, and another team that's interested in Mitchell that we didn't talk about is the Houston Rockets.
I think I did mention the Rockets. I think
he did mention them. He did mention,
and they have our picks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are we still doing that? But do you think Sean's really still doing the Rocket conversation?
Oh no, I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about Mitchell and the Rockets, like the Cavs and the Rockets.
Oh yeah.
Like,
but do you think that's a good fit for them? You think that's a good fit for them, or like, do you think they should risk that breaking up the young core they have and for Donovan?
I mean, they try to do it with us with Mikal Bridges.
But dude, you really do you see the Cavs just saying, "Fuck it, we're sending you wherever you want"? See, that's the other thing I have here. He's a year removed from free agency. And if depending on how their conversation going, does it at any point here the Cavs just say fuck it? But that's the other thing. The way things are, a lot of teams are not willing to risk a lot of shit for a guy that doesn't really want to, and that's the other thing. Like who wants to
trade for a guy that's not going to stay?
Yes. And I mean, and especially on the CBA, like how much everything's changing, right?
Yeah.
Like people are approaching things a little differently right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see somebody, unless they were given the ability to communicate, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Shout out to
we talk like behind each other all the time.
Oh yeah, that's facts. Shout out to JHM. He said it's insane how his franchise hadn't had a homegrown star since Lopez, Williams, Anderson, and Coleman. Yeah, I was shout out to the Brooklyn Way. I was tweeting a reply to one of his tweets, and like us, I know like the fans that want to rebuild, like that just hasn't been a part of what the Nets are for like. We can go way back. We can go to 2012. We can go to when have we ever rebuilt? When have we ever said the Nets were in a rebuilding situation? We've never done it.
What you want to see something? You want to see something nasty, AJ?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull it up, dude. I pulled up the other day and I looked at.
We've never rebuilt ever. So it's like even like you think about Brook or you think about that Brooklyn Grit team. That wasn't no rebuild team. That was just one of those like bench kind of mark teams to get a star. Like every single move the Nets make is to get star hunt. Like our whole franchise history is star hunting. Vince Carter was signed. You know what I'm saying? Jason Kidd. Like, it's all about star hunting. That's all we've ever been about. So the rebuilding Nets fans, and don't get me wrong, I would love to rebuild or I would love to go that route, but it's just not who we are. So I just accept that we're going to star hunt, and that's what it is.
But
it's just what it is.
You also gotta understand when it comes to rebuilding, it's harder to mess it up than it is to execute it well. Like it's a miracle what the Thunder are doing right now. It's a miracle what the Warriors had with Clay, Draymond, and Steph. But then you got guys like the Detroit Pistons, who it's a boatload of quality lottery talent they've had, but they're just not good enough for some reason. You now you can easily be that situation than be the previous situations I mentioned. Like it's harder to mess up a rebuild than it is to successfully build one. Like,
it is no perfect science to it because like the Pistons have a great young core and people think we have a great young core. Pistons have a great young core, but look at them. They're in the lottery every single year and they get the number 5 pick. They have the worst record in the NBA almost every single year and they get a trash pick or number 5 pick, number 6 pick. Not trash, but not number 1.
On top of that, to have coaching like Monty Williams that to still not be good, it's like that. It can easily go wrong as much as it can go right.
Here's the thing, Chubbs, and I understand what you're saying, but those examples that you bring up, the Pistons, those are the examples of teams that are just badly managed. Like the strategy isn't the issue because there are so many teams that have done the rebuild. They find lottery talent. They're very good at drafting, and they could do it. It's not the strategy in that situation. It's just that's an organization that's bad at being an organization.
All you have to do is look at these picks, and you will see a pattern throughout.
Are the Nets picks? These are the Nets picks.
Yeah, these are all the Nets picks through history. So it's like,
oh my god, bro.
I mean, dude. I mean,
look at City Bay. Look at Kuruks.
Yeah, we've been giving picks away. Like what? Since 2010 was our last. Derek Favors.
Like I said, we've never been this rebuild. Like, so what's gonna change now? You think Sean Marks is gonna just go rebuild now? Like he's been saying all in his press conference, like he's been subbing us. Yeah, we're looking for a star. Well, I think we got the assets for a star. Well, we're looking for a number 1 guy.
Let me throw this in here. If we really wanted to rebuild, Mikal would have been a Houston Rocket by now.
Yeah, exactly. If Sean wants to rebuild, he would have done this last year. He could have traded Mikal for 3. He could have flipped Mikal as soon as he got him. He could have flipped DFS for 4 first. He could have flipped Mikal. If he really wanted to rebuild, he could have. But he didn't. He waited. You know what I'm saying? He waited and he waited. So it's like he could have been hit the rebuild button.
At the end of the day, he banked on Ben Simmons. That blew up in his face. He banked on what I am now calling them the Wonder Twins. For you older folk, that remember the Super
Wonder
Friends,
Twins.
Wonder Twins activate. Like he
Oh my
thought that
God.
was going to work out really well.
Yeah.
That didn't work out.
They're not even the Wonder Twins.
Coaching the great coaching signing that he did the
Oh.
previous year with JV that blew up in his face. Let's
my
see.
God.
Let's count the more great Sean Marks moments, but dude, it just it is painful. As long as I've been watching and paying attention to the Nets, just the countless times that I've watched them just throw away countless picks.
Yeah.
And it just to enrich other teams.
Like it's like a history, bro. It's like we're just like a sick team that just has no.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest thing that's sickening to me is knowing that we could have, and I don't even want to argue about what the true offers were, this and that with Houston. I don't even care to do that. But just the fact that you could have, and it didn't seem like it would have cost you too much to get your shit back.
Yeah. Like I said, he had the chance, bro. He had
Like
the
literally just Mikal Bridges. I don't even think anything else. They just wanted
That
Mikal.
was my question to the chat, and the question to like ciphers. Like, can anybody remember how many times? I'm sure it's happened, but how many times do you get your picks back? Like offered? Like how many? I'd be interested to really know that because I'm sure it has, but.
No, most teams when they give away those picks for start, they don't get them back. Like they don't get the chance to get all their draft capital back. Yeah, that's very rare. I feel like that's very rare.
Extremely rare.
Go ahead, Saif.
I agree with everything you say. Like we should be rebuilding, and I think that's why the fans are just so angry because this should be the strategy. Just rebuild, get as many picks as you can. But the fact that we're doing this for a third time in the last 11 years, and both times it just hasn't worked.
Thank you.
That's why fans are mad. Look, at some point we have to admit the idea of just trading this many first round picks unprotected. It's just a bad idea, regardless of how well you execute it. Like you can forget us.
Cypher, you bring up a point because let's be honest, and I'm not like saying who and what, but like a lot of new fans came on when KD and Kyrie came on. And their expectations after the fact, if they've hung around, are completely different from the people that have been here for all the way into the Jersey days where it's like you've seen that. And like that's the thing is there's been so many times where I was like, great, the Nets are back in a positive. They got money, they got picks, like they're in a good spot. And then you just watch it countless times. And it's like, what is it that is like clearly you're watching like it not work over and over again. Like what is I guess my obsession is what is it with new people coming into that, either buying it, GMing and thinking they can do it the same thing that the previous GM did and it'll work out better. Like what makes it's just like that, not that shit doesn't always work out. Like the Boston one, it was like you traded for a retirement home. You thought that was gonna work? It was like what?
You know what's crazy about that trade?
My little elementary school self, I was like, "Yo, we back. We about to take over." I was so naive on that.
Super team. KG.
Looking back on it now, that was the most predictable fucking disaster ever.
That was like the super old team.
That's a good question. Like how old were you when that hit?
I was probably elementary school going into middle school.
Oh damn! Poor Chubbs had no idea.
Yeah, and I think
that early.
If you look at the history of that trade and the reactions of that trade, so many people were like, "Oh, the Nets made out like bandits." Like actually, like a lot of people.
Oh, dude, I thought we hit. I thought we struck gold. I'm like, yo, you never see nothing like this. We got KG, we got Paul Pierce. And it just fell apart year one. It just fell the fuck apart year one, and it's like, god damn.
Go ahead, Sai. I think Sai was trying to say something.
Oh no, I was just saying, Chubbs, that trade. Like if you look at real time reactions, so many people agreed with you. They thought, "Oh, what a steal for the Nets." Yes. It just shows to you, people, and this is just NBA fans in general, regardless of the era, is that they fall in love with the idea of a player, like a big name, so much that they don't care about the consequences, even though the consequences could be years. like years.
Yeah.
Like I don't think people understand that if we
Not
trade for
even
Mitchell,
years, decades.
Yeah.
Potential decades.
it'll be years, even a decade of the consequence of trading for Mitchell and it failing is just decades of just sucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Claude Smith. He said the Nets need a head coach that they stay committed to. We need stability in the coaching staff as a top priority. The past few years, we've had a poor track record. That's a fact. Shout out to Coach Jordy. Hopefully, he works things out because we've been going coach to coach to coach to coach to coach. Like it's just it's
So AJ, let me ask you this, right? You just saw what Claude said, right?
Yeah.
So why would you appoint the GM that's picking his fourth coach in 3 years?
I don't know, man. I really don't understand Joe's side, man.
Can we talk about coaching real quick? Because if we trade for Donovan Mitchell, like I'm starting to feel bad for Jordy Fernandez because now the expectations went up.
Yeah,
imagine the first week you got Donovan Mitchell, your whole team gets flipped, and you got Donovan Mitchell on your team. That's crazy.
I'd assume a coach like Jordy would love a talent like Mitchell, but you do have to kind of change your approach of how you want to coach now, because now there's expectations. Now you gotta manage talent more. It is kind of messed up.
Hey, by the way, Cypher, the Nets just are entering the second decade of the Boston trade.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to remember that trade, man.
Well, actually, the Boston trade, believe it, and credit to Sean Marks, which I don't say much. We recovered from that Boston trade in like 5 years.
Well, but dude, that's the part when people like really kind of fell in love with Marks because it was like we were dog shit. We had nothing. He came in, he kept turning fucking shit into gold somehow. Gave you guys that like you kind of could root for, like even though you were dog shit. Like there was something where he put you back into a position of positive. And then it was like as soon as you got the KD and Kyrie, it's like everything changed.
Yeah. I'll say that's the one credit I'll give Sean for like getting us out that hole, because that hole was crazy. The one we were in.
It was.
We was in cemetery. We was probably in hell.
Now we thought we were depressed now too.
Yeah, we were in hell. He did bring us out of hell, but the thing with Sean, he kind of kept us in hell a little bit too. He went back to hell. Yeah, we did a U-turn. Like we was like, okay, Sean brought us out of hell, and then we go back into hell. Like
and now he has to do it again.
Now he has to do it again. Yeah,
at least with better assets, but still, you got to do it again.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though: he has to do it again. But the difference is, he's not detached from the mistakes. Like the reason why he could do it before was because he could just say, "Hey, Billy King did this. It's not my fault. I'm going to do my own thing." Now he has to clean up his own mess, and then when you're trying to clean up your own mess, you're trying to revise. You're trying to make your mistakes not mistakes anymore, and it's just hard to do.
Yeah.
All you have to do is listen to his last two speeches, dude.
Let me read the comments. Nets are in purgatory. Shout out to Gary. Jay said it's an abusive relationship. You just keep going back to. Yeah, that's a fact. Gary said I was about 19 when that happened, and I was so jaded as a Nets fan. I actually thought we were contenders when we landed Pierce and KG. Chris, what's your Twitter? Hit us up on Twitter if you want to come up. King Ghost said Dello. Who's Dello? Pimp name Slipback. D'Lo. Okay. Pimp name Slipback said this just makes zero sense. If this was their big plan, why didn't you just keep KD and Kyrie? I'd rather ride it out with them than Donovan Mitchell and McHale. I'm sorry. That's actually a great point.
Well, no, I mean the reason they got rid of them is because they didn't like their personalities.
Yeah, they didn't. It was getting toxic with Kyrie and Josiah. Like they didn't fuck with each other. And then KD's not going to be here without Kyrie, obviously. So that's why he left.
I mean, once that
Kyrie's competing for a Western Conference final,
dude. Once the Josiah Kyrie relationship soured, that was a wrap, dude. Yeah. That was a wrap.
I'd rather ride it out with them too, but hey, like I said, it got toxic, and I don't want to think about. I don't want to like go back to those days because
I mean,
it's just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking, man. Does Donovan and McHale make me happier? Not really, but it's a start. You know what I'm saying? It's better than what we have now. I'll say that. I'd rather have Donovan than
Well, and that's the thing, dude. You without going backwards, if you remove injuries and COVID, we're not even talking about.
Oh yeah,
no,
we're having convert, and it's the outside things once again. But
yeah. It's like I said, we would be ring talking if we have injuries or COVID. Shout out to Claude. Undercover said, Sean Marks is targeting Spider to save his job. That might be he might be, bro. Because Sean doesn't want to rebuild. Sean doesn't want to rebuild. So, but the thing is, he might be untouchable. Because I don't know if you. I don't think there's anything Sean can do to get fired now. At this point, there's nothing he could do anything and not get fired. In my opinion, like what else can he do wrong?
Oh, AJ, the standard for him is so low, and this is on Josiah at this point. And Scoop B, you guys all know him. He went on Only Nets Fan, his show, and he explained it. And Josiah basically said, well, not Josiah, but Scoop B basically said Josiah is content with the quality of work and his pedigree regarding Sean Marks. So why would he fire him?
Yeah, so it's like Sean is untouchable, bro. Like, I don't think there's anything at this point. If Sean, like, he might have one of the worst recent resumes as a GM in the NBA, and he still has his job. Like, people,
AJ, if he retired today, he would be in consideration as one of the worst GMs in NBA history.
Yeah,
and I am not kidding.
of course. His one of the worst GMs in NBA history. Yet he still has his job. So I think at this point, there's nothing that he can do to lose his job. I'm unfortunately, it's really sickening. But going back to Donovan, like, now that we hear that, if you're joining us right now, where we're just talking about Windhorse's report that the Nets, he said 2 teams, well, Lakers and the Nets, are prepared for a trade offer for Donovan. The Celtics just beat the Cavs tonight, so we're gonna start to see little breadcrumbs. I'll be very interested. Everybody tune in to see Donovan's what's it called, the exit conference, because they're gonna bring it up.
Review.
He's probably gonna say like, oh well, I don't know yet. I gotta think about it.
He'll be classy. Donovan doesn't strike me as I don't want to come back here. Or he'll just be like, we're gonna have a conversation on. He'll be classy.
If there's any time that he says he wants to stay, it's gonna be then.
Oh, the exit conference.
Well, why wouldn't? I mean, dude.
You're right.
I'm just saying you could make a huge statement by if you're wanting to stay, but.
He could kill all the rumors right now. He can kill everything right now.
I'm not expecting that to happen, but
he could kill everything right now. If at the exit conference he was like, "I'm gonna be here next year," or "I'm gonna be," whatever.
What I saw from a couple people, we had some injuries. Like, I'm ready. I want to run it back. Like, I mean, I doubt it, but
I'll say this though. I don't know. You can't be committed yet sit out. What is must win games in the playoffs? Like, I don't know. You can't say I want to stay, yet you sat out game 4, game 5.
I mean, the Cavs strength.
And granted, if it was that bad, I'll apologize for that. But for me, you can't say, "Oh, I want to stay here." Yet in really important playoff games, you decided to sit.
I'm surprised too that he didn't like try to give it a go, at least play through it a little bit, see how it works, and then like
at least go through a warm up, right? Like,
I was surprised he didn't even do the warm up. He didn't even do the warm up. That's why I was surprised. I was like, like maybe he doesn't want to. But hey,
it did to me. It did. I mean, even though they were embarrassing the Celtics for a while, like, we're going, what's going on?
Bro, Donovan won a game for them. Like,
I felt like today's game just felt like whatever, dude. Like, it felt like they already waved the white flag, even though they played the way they did for part of the game. This just very much felt like we're waving the white flag type game.
The Cavs are almost in like every game except for like one game. It's crazy though. That's why I hate about the Celtics, man. Like, they're supposed to be blowing this team out, and they're just like, I watched Marcus Morris turn into a prime Jordan today. Like, I couldn't believe
that's
my
what
eyes.
we were talking about earlier.
What's going on?
25 points, 10 of 13 shooting.
Yeah.
But some of these playoffs lately are just dog shit, dude. Either like ridiculous blowouts that are like so boring, or it's just like you're watching what you hit tonight.
Yeah. It makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense. Shamai said, I need to see Denver bend the Celtics over in the finals. Yeah, that's my probably predicted finals is Boston, Denver. But I still want to see what the Wolves got. I haven't quit on the Wolves completely yet. But
people are saying they quit. A lot of people are saying that.
I just think like they might have to bench Rudy, bro, because they had their best game against the Denver Nuggets when Rudy was not there. So I don't know. It might make them it might just throw a different look. So they might have to go. They might have to bench Rudy for at least see how it works. If it works,
But you know what, though? I don't think Denver's taking the foot off the gas, though, bro.
I'm not gonna lie.
Those 0-2 games, like at first I was like, "Yo, like what's going on here?" And then they were like, "Nah, we're sorry. Yeah, that was embarrassing, but I don't think they're gonna stop, dude. They're
Shout out to King Ghost. He said he's probably going to say I love the city. He said Donovan's going to say I love the city when he in his exit interview.
I mean, we heard Kyrie Irving say he wanted to stay wherever he was, and then he always left. So, I mean, is what it is.
Yeah.
These players, they just say I like the city, and then they request a trade like a day later.
Kyrie is the worst. He always does that. He'd be like, "I love it here."
Stand in the middle of the stadium and say it in front of all the fans, and everybody's cheering.
Somebody got to create. They already have a montage of that, right? I think somebody has a montage of Kyrie like saying, "I love it here. I won't trade it for nothing in the world," and then he like leaves.
not even Kyrie. Paul George said he will stay in Thunder.
Paul George too. He's one of those guys too. So he always says, "I love it here." He's like,
James Harden said it with us.
James Harden too.
But of all the states Kyrie would move to and play basketball, Texas.
He's like the most right-wing Republican state.
Yeah, and he's all chill over there. He's cooking. He's playing good basketball.
I'm just saying, he went over there. We ain't hear a peep from him.
No, but we did.
Well, the media in Dallas is so different.
Yeah, we did talk about this, that when he left and we said he was going over there, that he was going to probably be on like super chill.
Yeah.
Like he probably wasn't going to say anything. He was just going to play basketball.
I think also it's a lot better organization than
they're protect. You can tell.
Yeah. Mark Cuban and those guys are.
Mark Cuban would never allow a Nick Riddell in that press room.
Oh,
no. Dude, the way they're protecting,
I wish the way they protect Kyrie was like the way that we should have done it over here. But
I mean, it's a testament to how bad our organization is. Like they don't protect players; they protect themselves.
Yeah. And now the Mavs have a good chance to go to the finals. Shout out to Ramon. He said he asked about this series. Yeah, my opinion is Dallas. I think Dallas should win this series, but the next series is going to be if they come out of this series, and it might go 7. It might be a 7-game series, but if they come out this series, it's going to be tough to beat the Nuggets. I think they rather would have the Wolves, but it'll be very tough to beat the Nuggets. But like I said, Kyrie has a chance. He has a chance to go to the finals right now. This is it.
Speaking of the Nuggets, AJ, I'm standing on business with that Jokic versus Embiid. Jokic is way better. Embiid was never better than Jokic. Jokic was always better than Embiid. I remember back then raging like, nah, man, Embiid, man, the defense. Where are we now, man?
Yeah, I was on the Embiid train. You're right. I was
there. You see what he did to him?
I was on the Embiid train back then too, but then I when I saw Embiid choke or like look like a little kid when the limelight was on, like he looked so like disgustingly bad. I'm like, nah, I can't. Jokic got it. Because when Jokic was pressed against that wall like 2-0, you saw what he just did. They give you like 40-13 and 7 or 47 and 13. He was efficient.
And we just saw him walk down the defensive player of the year. Yeah, like actually walk him down, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, Jokic got it for me, bro. He's different. Shout out to Dome. He said, at least you'll have some picks coming up. So there's that. We don't have a 2024, but we have a 2025. So let's.
But we got 2 in 2025.
I wonder. I mean, that's the other thing. Everybody's saying we're going after a pick. So
I don't know. Well, like I said, we could easily enter this draft, but I don't think Sean's going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it.
I wouldn't. I mean, historically, he's always entered.
He loves drafting. You know, he loves drafting.
Something in the lower end, or either picked up a second rounder, or like he's always done something. And
he might sign some undrafteds or do some
I'll say that. Like, I'm not even. I mean, trades are gonna. A trade is going to happen. As of what level? That's going to be everybody's like. You know, is he going to do a multi-team trade? I mean, is DFS going to be traded somewhere else? Like, that's the thing. We don't know exactly what, where, and who. Like, because I see him making more than one move, though. I do.
You're talking about if it's a Donovan trade or if it's like a regular marginal trade, like a small trade, like trading DFS for something or trading, you know.
You know how they trade? I just can't imagine that they're not going to cut money to re-sign Claxton either, because that's the other thing we're not even talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, they could re-sign Claxton and still stay under the tax theoretically.
Oh yeah.
But I just, to me, I mean, just with the Nets, if I'm going off what the Nets have shown, every time they signed somebody, they made sure to get rid of a bunch of money.
Yeah.
They did it when they signed CJ. Why wouldn't they do it now? You can't tell me that Schroeder's expendable, DFS is expendable.
Oh, all those
like,
guys are expendable.
These guys,
a
like
lot
that's
of them
why
are
I'm
expendable.
saying, like, even I'm not even talking just about a Donovan Mitchell trade. Like, there's potential for other little trades that it wouldn't surprise me either, though.
Yeah.
If you're joining us right now, we were just recapping the Nets preparing a trade offer for Donovan, allegedly. Well, we heard Brian Windhorst report today, and we kind of all expected that it was going to happen, but you know, we weren't expecting it this fast for talks to speed up. Again, if you're watching
us, do it right before this game too.
Yeah, like I said, he really dropped the news like right.
Weird timing too.
Very weird timing.
Yeah, but at the same time, this, like, come on, they do this shit for a living, and they do it on purpose.
They know he knew what he was doing, right? He knew what he was doing. Hit that heart button too on Twitter, and then hit the like button if you're on YouTube. Shout out to y'all talking about the big three trades. Yeah. We better sign Claxton, Cam Thomas, maybe. Chris, can you join on message on Instagram? I don't have Twitter. Oh, I don't know. Can you guys find this guy? He wants to come up.
I don't know. You know me. I ain't plugged into Instagram.
Why is that your profile picture? Jesus.
You do got the suspect.
Yeah, I don't know about that. What's up?
That better not be your real face, Chris. That better not be your real face.
You don't know the meme, AJ?
Which meme is that?
Get that EM off your face. That's the meme.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't know the meme. I haven't seen the meme.
What's about?
He said _Chris 527.
Like
we'll try to figure. Chris, we'll try to figure it out, man. We'll try. I'll try to figure it out. AK718 said PJ made a whole promotion and type video saying that left off the same month. Yeah. Like players do that all the time, bro. Players, they switch it up every time. You can't trust their words. You know, it's just.
Well, and dude, perfect example of that was when Harden was doing his thing, but at the same time got stuck having to promote his Adidas shit, right? As he's like at the worst time of like everybody knows he's leaving and he's just sitting on the bench and full Adidas, and then the same day they're posting that shit all over Twitter. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, a lot of these, dude. I know people get butthurt, but it's like, dude, a lot of these guys don't give two fucks, man. Yeah. It is a business, and they're gonna go wherever they want to go, and if they got the power to do it.
Yeah. Let me ask y'all this, like, before we get out of here. What do you guys think, like, the Ben Simmons route is? Like, if we do get Donovan, what happens? Like, keep Ben,
keep him on the team and wait.
Yeah, like, what do you think of like what happens with the Ben?
Earlier, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if a move was made. They cut money and then they just wrote it out. Had the big piggy bank for 2025. Wouldn't surprise me one way.
So you think they just write it out with Ben if we get Donovan?
I also can't believe at the same time that they're not going to explore the possibility of him being included in any trade this offseason either, though. I know they said what they said, but you can't tell me that Sean says it all the time. We have phone calls, they take calls all the time. Who knows? But it wouldn't surprise me one bit.
I can't imagine a situation where we could get rid of Ben Simmons without having to attach a first-round pick.
Yeah. I mean, it would have to be a very special situation, but
it would be like Zach LaVine. Like, hey, Bulls, I know Zach LaVine isn't that good anymore and he makes a lot of money. You want Ben Simmons, and we'll take a LaVine off your hands.
I really wish Ben Simmons wasn't cooked, because prime, like, Sixers, Ben, and Donovan, oof, that would be so amazing to watch. That would be box office. If Ben was, like, really himself and healthy, then you add Donovan to that. Oh my God, that would be beautiful.
You can't even do that anymore with Ben, dude. I can't even here and go, well, what if Ben has a miracle? Like if
we say it every year, like
yeah, like what if it just clicks for him and his back starts feeling like the best and it works?
yeah,
Like
he's just cooked. He's cooked now, so it's like
I don't
it's
know.
over. Because like if we got 2018 Ben, Egg Donovan, you think in your head like, oh my god, this is beautiful. But now we have cooked Ben who can't stay on the court for 10 games.
And that's what pissed me off about this past season. If there was one thing that did piss me off, was like watching him have a couple games where everybody kind of was like, yo, that's the best Ben's ever looked since he's been in a net uniform.
Yeah.
And then it just boom, gone. It gave you a little glance.
Yeah.
And then it just gone.
It is gone. It's just heartbreaking, man. Somebody says this is a contract year. Shout out to Pete, Nets fans. Go subscribe. Great channel, man. Somebody said it's his contract year. Maybe he will be healthy and we overpay him.
God no.
Chris, try to DM me on Instagram, Chris. DM me on Instagram, Chris, if you can.
I think they're saying all the right things right now when it comes to Ben Simmons, at least from the Nets PR type standpoint, but nah.
He's cooked. He's cooked. Unfortunately, Ben is done.
Yeah.
He might come out and give us like a good 10 games, and he's gonna look great. But after that, it'll be the Ben Simmons meme that goes around, the Ben Simmons cycle, where it's like
not AJ, that's hate, man. You're hating on him, AJ.
I'm hating.
You say that, man.
It's literally real life though. It's like Ben Simmons plays well for 5 games, then his random back injury, off-season videos.
What more do you want from him, AJ? He's doing the best he can. He's doing the best he can.
Let me ask you a question real quick. This is like a weird, say Sean Mark shits the bed, right? Doesn't really make any trades, doesn't really kind of throws the same team out there with some new bench guys. Are you relieved he didn't screw things up, or are you pissed that we're going to have the same type of shitty team?
I'm relieved he didn't trade all our assets.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to do that. Like the potential, if it's very similar, because that's some people are speculating that as well.
Whoa, what did Shams just tweet? Oh, he just tweeted about the Cavs offseason outlook. He just dropped the article. Yeah, he dropped the article already. I'm about to send Chris's DM. Hold on, yo. Hold on. But yeah, it's just this Donovan situation, man. It's like I'm excited for it, but it's like I don't know what to expect at the same time. I'm like, damn.
I mean, that's what we did. I mean, that's another thing. Holy shit, there's like 412 people watching on Twitter. Oh shit.
Yo, every year, it's like every year I'm like, how do the Nets stay relevant? Like we always in a race for a star. Like last year was Dame. It's like we're always in like every summer. It's like we're a star, wants to come here, or we're in talks for a star. It's weird.
No, it just, dude. It's like our coaching situation, right? Like if here we are once again, right? Like, and I'll put the asterisk out there, right? Like if you're gonna take a shot, like, and this is what I wish Sean Marks would have done when way back after Kenny Atkinson was like, at least if you were gonna hire a first year coach, you hired somebody that has all the boxes checked, and he's put in work at different levels. Like at least you like in comparison to Steve Nash, like, but there's still a big what if. But like if you're telling me like, hey, this is what he has for like, yeah, great, I feel good. But there's still that aspect of this, like, what type of team are you giving him? How much of an impact is he going to have? And my other thought was, if this guy comes in and we see literally the same type of offense that we've seen for the last couple seasons, then we know they're not letting these dudes coach at all.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you can tell me that this dude's going to come in and that offense is going to look and they're going to try to run the same type of scheme. Like, dude, if I see that, then we know with a shadow of doubt, that's why he keeps getting these yes men. Like,
yeah, that's the scary part, like the yes men part of it. And then it's just like the same cycle we was in with Steve Nash and Jock Vaughn.
One of these things has got to, like, I hope the Jordy situation works out because, I mean, listen, I like what I hear from him when he speaks. I like his resume. So I hope it works out for us big time.
Yeah. All right, we got Chris up here, yo. Chris wanted to pull up, so if you was in the chat and you want to talk your shit, bro. Talk your shit, brother.
Hey, I appreciate y'all adding me though, man. I appreciate y'all adding me and letting me speak my opinion on things.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Man, I've been a Nets fan, diehard Nets fan. I go to a lot of the games and all that, but like I was telling the guy last night, I was like, man, I didn't enjoy this season at all. Like, I think it's the reset button. I think Donovan Mitchell's not going to solve the problem we need. I think we should start it from the bottom. Try to get our picks back if we can. Just trade everybody off. Keep Ben for a salary. I think we should do it.
So you're in like the team rebuild part of Nets Twitter, I guess, that people want to just rebuild and go with our young guys.
Yeah.
But you want to break it, but Chris, you want to break it down to the studs. Like you're saying, let's rip off the sheetrock.
He said trade everybody. He said Darius, Mikhail, CJ, everybody go.
Like, I want everybody.
He's like, I want to
just keep Cam Thomas. I don't even want Claxton around, man.
Damn.
You want a clean house.
Yeah. Just start fresh, man. I think we can though, but I don't see it happening. I just think that's the best solution right now because that Cavs team was way better. That Cavs team Donovan's on is way better than us. Way better.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I think they're roster is a lot.
We trading away picks that's going to be something very good in the future for a player that's of his caliber. I don't see it. Just him.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not mad at like fans that think like this and that want this, but it's just hard because it's like as a franchise, that's not what we do. We don't do that. We are a star hunting franchise, bro. Like it's just that's how it is, you know. And I wanted to change, but it's just we're gonna go for the star. It's just how the Nets function, bro. It's just so.
What do packages generally? A Cypher, if you're still here and you kind of have this in your photographic mind, generally players that are in Mitchell's position that say he does want to go somewhere. What are the trade like? Are the packages still OD? Like, because I'm not the best at remembering.
Like so, the only example I could remember in recent memory is Anthony Davis.
That's good.
He was on an expiring contract.
But he's a completely different player, younger.
Yeah,
they were around the same age actually when they got traded.
Wait, how old
did the Pelicans get equal value though when they?
How old is AD now? How old is AD now?
Anthony, like 29, right? 29, 30.
Let me look it up.
And Donovan Mitchell's 28 right now, right?
Okay, Anthony Davis right now is 31 years old. And he was traded back in the offseason. Oh, yeah, he was traded when he was he was 26 when he got traded.
Yeah, he was a little bit younger.
Yeah.
A couple years younger. So, I mean, it was different, but and you could make the case then that AD was a far more valuable player at that time if you compared him to Donovan Mitchell now.
But the Cavs gave up 3 first rounds unprotected and what is it? 3 swaps? Was it 3 swaps?
Three swaps. Sorry,
3 swaps and 3 first. You can't. There's no way in hell they give that back. There's no way in hell they get that. I mean,
yeah,
they're not going to get no.
This is a shout out to Pete. New CBA trades are going to be different now. Picks equal more value than before. But yeah. That's my other question too. Is like. You saw how much they gave up for him. You can't tell me they're looking to not recoup.
Yeah. Because when Donovan got traded the first time, that was that's when the Rudy Gobert got like 5 first. People were getting traded for some crazy draft picks. Like it was insane. But like Pete said, now the CBA has changed and like picks are gonna get more valuable. Like I remember I put up like a mock trade for Trae Young, and like people are saying Trae Young's not even worth like 2 firsts or 3 firsts now. And I'm like, Trae Young's not worth 2 or 3 firsts.
But we're in a new era where we don't really understand.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is that the DJ? Is that DJ? Which DJ is that? Because that can't be DJ.
No, that's the Boston hat DJ. I think.
Oh, that's old. That's OG DJ. Oh,
yeah, like tuning in from out of the country one time, DJ.
That's OG DJ. So DJ is OG. Shout out to OG DJ.
Yeah. He said that. God. What up, DJ?
Yeah, but like that's like I said, the picks are gonna be, I think, more valuable now because like I'm interested to see what Trey goes for and what Donovan goes for. Like what do you guys think their picks value is now? You know, because it's gonna be interesting. These guys are there's so many guys on the market this summer too. Because I know Brandon Ingram's out there. Jimmy Butler might be out there. I don't know. It was a little sus the way him and Pat Riley cooked him in that press conference. So I don't know. Jimmy might be out there. Brandon might be out there. Paul George is out there. So it's like I'm trying to figure out what's gonna go on this summer. It might be a fun summer.
I think this offseason is gonna be. Do you think it's gonna be a quiet or a nutty one? Do you think some shit?
No, I think it's gonna be a splash off season. Like I think it's gonna be like people gonna be
because there's no free agents. Like people have to make trades.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like a lot of different moves happening because all these, like Paul George. I know he wants to stay in Cali, but it's like they paid Kawhi an extra, whatever it was, an extension, 2-year, 3-year, and then he wants to max, and they don't want to give him the max. So that's a little tough situation out there.
And Harden
Lakers,
also wants a
Harden, yeah. And you got the Lakers, so they're gonna want Trey or Donovan. You know they're gonna shoot their shot like as they always do.
Hey, real quick, Woj just put out a tweet saying that the Cavs are evaluating JB Bickerstaff.
What?
Of course they are. Which would make. I mean,
I'm not surprised with that one.
This is, but
a lot
here,
of Cavs fans are not happy with his coaching style.
Is that how you keep Donovan Mitchell?
But I don't think he's a bad coach, though. I mean,
he's okay.
Who do you replace him with? Even
I mean, it's not like he. That's the thing with coaches. Like I don't like about the NBA. Like they automatically just blame the coach and fire him, even though if it's not his fault.
Especially if you're gonna have if you're gonna suspect today saying that people are saying, oh, you kind of just sat. You could have played today.
Yeah.
It just no. But I mean, dude, let's be honest. We've seen the Bucks coach had a winning record, got fired. Who else got?
Adrian Griffin. Yeah.
I mean, dude, I think too, the other aspect you're seeing more and more is if more than one player is vocal, I'm sure they don't mind cutting that loss.
Yeah. I mean, Adrian Griffin got fired because the Bucks players just hated the guy.
Yeah.
We got an update from Shams though. He's see, this is what as soon as the Cleveland loses, we get these updates. He said rival executives are preparing for Cleveland to choose between keeping Donovan Mitchell or Darius Garland, and they expect Garland's camp to potentially look for a new team if Mitchell remains in Cleveland.
AJ, you know what's crazy? I think I mentioned it in the group chat. What does Darius Garland think of the situation? Does he want to stay in the rebuild?
What the fuck? Why would Darius Garland want to leave though? Why would he want to look? Why would he want to leave?
But let's ask a normal question. How many of these players actually want to be in Cleveland, bro? Let's be honest. There is an aspect of this where they don't want to be in Cleveland, I'm sure.
Nobody want to be in Cleveland, bro. Even LeBron don't want to be in Cleveland. He's from there. He's from there. He don't want to be in Cleveland.
I was thinking
going back is if it somehow magically works out in a documentary ending lifestyle movie where he can go home and play his final season with his son in Cleveland and it comes full circle, then if that happens, you'll see him go back there. If Disney can make that happen, he'll do it.
From a basketball perspective, I get it because when Darius Garland got hurt this year, Donovan Mitchell took on a lot of point guard responsibilities, and they kind of got in each other's way. And so I kind of understand why, like, he would want to leave.
He said if Donovan stays, he wants to leave. That's kind of crazy. But they just gave him the max, though. They just gave Darius Garland the max.
He's got 4 more years left on his contract.
Pete just sent me the Nets fan. Pete just texted me, and Pete, can I ask it on air? Because you didn't put it in the chat, so I want to make sure. Oh no! Wait. Here we go. Did he put it up there? Oh yeah,
that's crazy to me. Why would Garland want to leave?
Go for Garland, McCall for Garland. Mm-hmm. This is what he tweeted.
We do need a point guard.
I'll happily take Garland. That's a lower price. I'll take Garland. He has been. I'm not gonna hold you. He's been sus. He's been very, very sus these past few years.
Chat I mean, dude.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat if y'all would take Garland, because Garland apparently doesn't want to be. It says here. Well, Shams reported he doesn't want to be on the team. If Mitchell
he can go and play point guard for a lot of better teams. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Pete's also saying Spider wants Macau, but then we had somebody else in the chat way earlier saying that Mitchell wants nothing to do with the Nets. So I guess we'll.
The
Wait,
thing
who
with
said that?
Garland,
I think what's his name? Everybody's favorite Cam Undo or whatever his name is.
Oh, bro, don't listen to him, man. He doesn't
No,
know.
I listen. I listen to everybody. I'm not.
Shout out to Under, yo. But
I'll listen to-
Donovan did not say he doesn't want to come to Brooklyn.
I will see. I will. My eyes will read what everybody puts out, and it'll always be there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to DJ Smallgarsh. Yeah. My problem with Darius Garland is, well, okay, when we back in 2021, 2020, when he broke out and he had his breakout year, I'm like, damn, this guy's good. But then when he got the max, it's just like his play started going down, 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 and like worse. And then you look at these playoffs, he was god awful in these playoffs, like awful. And I don't know what happened. Like as a max, me and Rage was talking about this. As a max player, you can't be averaging 18 points per game as a starting point guard. Like he's a max player. They gave him the max. You know what I'm saying? And then he just didn't look. In this playoffs, he looked very like scared, very passive, very just. I don't know. I just didn't like the way he looked in this playoffs. I'm not saying I wouldn't take him on the Nets. I would not say I wouldn't take him, but it gave me a little worry, like, you know.
Pete texted me. He said he's been talking to a beat writer. He said he heard a week ago. He was saying that he heard that Spider wants Macau in Cleveland. That doesn't make sense.
Sean said Macau is untouchable.
Pete, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, no. Unless Macau just says, "Yo, get me out of here." I think. And if anything, if Macau says, "I want to get out of here,"
I mean, listen, these guys want to play.
Know where he would go before Cleveland, and I'm not saying their names.
And Chubbs, these guys.
I refuse to mention the names. We all know where he wants to go.
And dude, but the thing is we all know these guys all want to play with each other.
Yeah.
In on a team. So on some part of this, it to me it kind of comes down to, well, how does that best work out, right? Like it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be us or them or what, but it's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the first step that has to happen is Donovan has to decline his extension. That's the first thing. That has to happen first. Before we get this, Donovan wants him. He wants to go here. Like, first step is the decline the extension. Then we got to figure out what the heck is this Darius Garland.
Darius Garland. This language is moving pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm saying they didn't even get back to Cleveland yet, and they already talking about
Darius Garland's camp. It literally said, "Yeah, if you're joining us right now, let me read the tweet that Sham said. It was in his article. It says rival executives are preparing for Cleveland to choose between keeping Mitchell or Darius Garland. They expect Garland's camp to potentially look for a new team if Mitchell remains in Cleveland." So I'm like trying to figure out, Darius, how are you complaining you're with Mitchell? Like, you didn't do shit during this playoffs. Like, Donovan had to carry you. So how are you going to be like, I don't want to be on the team if Donovan's here?
You were injured this season. Donovan had to carry the Cavs. I mean, not for nothing. Donovan put together some of his best basketball this regular season.
I'm trying to figure out, why do you want to leave? Like, why do you want to leave if you're getting carried by Donovan? I'm trying to figure that shit out, bro. That makes sense.
No, I mean, in defense of Garland, like he was hurt, and then when he came back, Donovan was basically the point guard of that team, and so that's why his production did go down. Like in the games without Mitchell, this season he averaged 20 points and 7 assists. So he's still a good player. It just they really don't fit. Like that is a problem.
Yeah. Shout to Ramon. He said Garland is the point guard version of Cam Johnson after a max contract.
That's crazy. But I'll tell you this: that's better than whatever the hell Ben Simmons' contract is.
Yeah. Like Garland is better than having Ben on it. Like a Ben.
Like it's not the end of the world to have a talent like Darius Garland on that contract. Because if anything, if we trade for Garland, it's a lower risk than trading for Mitchell. It's not the end of the world if you punt a year or two, and if Garland somehow puts it together, you just trade him to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
Like it's not a lose if you trade for Garland. He probably is going to be lesser than Mitchell.
Oh yeah, I'm not giving up. Shit, I won't give up 2 firsts for maybe 2 firsts is the minimum, is the max for Darius Garland. I might go lower. I might go one. I might go the first and a second, or a couple seconds.
Something that I also want to bring up, which is this is like a problem that we should discuss, is it's just hard to get a point guard when you have a Cam Thomas on this team. Like, it really does suck that he's 6'3" and he can't play make, and that's a problem that he has to fix this offseason. Like, either he needs to get so good that it doesn't matter, or he needs to learn how to pass the ball and really like learn how to distribute. Because you can't start a 6'3" player unless we get like a tall point guard like SGA or Luka Doncic. It just, you can't have a small backcourt.
And to piggyback off what you said, Saif, some of these performances Cam gives us, it now needs to start leading to wins. And I know that's not fair on him, but for progress for him as a player, a lot of these games where he's going crazy, he's dropping 40, he's dropping 50, some of these now need to result in wins. Like, it keeps stacking up the more it's almost a narrative. If he scores good, it's an automatic loss.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be like that. And we know it's not like that. And that's the direction I want to see Cam go in, to where his scoring can impact the team so much. It's like it's such a positive impact. That's where I want to see Cam progress.
Yeah. And to be fair to Cam, he has I feel like this year he did take a slight leap in playmaking. But
he took a big leap in playmaking.
Yeah, the playmaking leap. I give him credit. He did work on his game, and you see he makes a lot better reads now off the pick and roll. He's definitely working on his playmaking, and it just has to keep growing like as he gets older, and like I said, still young, so he has so much time. But he did make a slight playmaking leap this year. I'll give him credit for that, because it was bad. It was bad for the first rookie year, his sophomore year. It was bad.
I'm really interested to see what Jordy Fernandez does, because for the last like 3 years, we didn't run any offensive system. And so if Fernandez can implement some kind of system where more pick and rolls with Cam Thomas, or more set plays, and just make it easier for everyone, like, we could start seeing more wins and more impactful minutes from Cam Thomas and all the players on this team.
Yeah. Yo, this is spicy though. What Shams just dropped is really spicy, because it's like, if Donovan leaves, that means Darius will stay. But if Donovan stays, that means Darius wants to leave. So it's like, like, what is like? It's like, yeah. It's
but what is the other question too is, what if who knows what they're really trying to do? How much are they looking to tear it down?
Yeah, like I said, if you're Cavs, what do you do? Like,
yeah,
do you trade Donovan and you try to retool with Darius Garland, or you rebuild? You know what I'm saying? Or like, what do you do?
I mean, because if you trade Donovan Mitchell, you just traded your best player.
Yeah.
Hey, and one more thing about the Shams.
That's why. What's that?
Sorry to interrupt. Just one more thing about the Shams thing is that apparently Mobley, back in 2021, Mobley's Cam told Cleveland not to draft him.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Nobody wants to be in Cleveland.
You would be surprised at how often that happens.
No, we quite literally saw Jalen Green media himself out of being in Detroit. We quite literally saw that.
Yeah, basically. Wow. Oh wow, Dallas is cooking right now.
Yeah,
okay,
they're
Dallas.
up 9, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all. So make sure you hit that like button, hit that heart on the Twitter too. If you're watching us on Twitter, we were just we were recapping Donovan news that dropped today by Windhorst, and then we got the Shams news that Darius might be want to get out of there if Donovan stays. So a lot of certain things could happen in Cleveland land this summer.
I'm not getting wrapped up in the we're getting Donovan Mitchell thing. I'm not doing that. I'm not biting into anything.
Not hype?
What?
You're not like getting hype about it?
No. I am reserving all emotions and thoughts until things actually happen. Like I just, especially this past season, the off season before, no, like I already see some of the certain Nets people just trying to already run.
We're getting Donovan ASAP. Yeah, like we're hyping it.
Door polishing. I'll just say, I'll call it this. I've seen some doorknob polishing for Sean Marks already.
Already? Don't tell me, yo, that's Twitter. Y'all watch it right now. That's Twitter. Don't tell me y'all gassing Sean because of rumors we're getting Donovan.
Listen, I'm not. Listen, I don't. I'm just saying.
I don't want to say no. Sean is the greatest GM. We didn't even get Donovan yet.
What I hate is because I'm seeing there was people that were attacking fans that were saying they weren't fans when we tried to tell you way at the beginning of the season this is a shit show, and they're all trying to tell you no, it's going to be magical and blah blah blah, and and then after the 50-point loss, they're like, yeah, I got no words. What's going on, Sean? And then now it's like back to full court press. Let's be like, oh, hey, Sean's got a history of doing magical things. Fucking
magical things.
Magical things is crazy.
Like, he's a fucking unicorn or some shit.
Oh my god, bro! Don't do this. Don't do that. That's Twitter. Don't do that.
Listen, all I'm saying is, like, I am not getting excited for anything until I gotta, like, I've got to see it, man. I'm just not. I'm not in this what if game anymore, like, because, like, dude, like, could you do worse than you did last season? Is it like, could we really go into next season it being worse than what we just went through?
Oh, saying absolutely.
Yeah.
It can get so much worse.
I'm being honest.
Absolutely.
What could go wrong will probably go wrong. Just leave that in there. Don't think, it can't get worse. It will get worse.
This draft, how we gave up third pick and everyone was trying to cope saying, oh, it's a terrible draft. Next year, we don't have that excuse. In 2020.
Hey, the last thing I'll say, and I'll let you guys cook up, is thank God Vince Carter. Listen, I've heard people getting weird about, like, why is Vince Carter getting, like, listen, dude, we're the Nets. We have not won shit. So we have to learn how to appreciate players in our history, whether they were here for 2 years, 4 years, 10 years. If we enjoyed them and they wowed us, put their fucking number in the goddamn. Like, what do we have to retire?
Yeah. Nobody should scoff at Vince. Vince is a Nets legend.
Dude, Vince, I'll just say this. If you're a diehard Nets fan and you will stay for life and you've watched countless losing seasons and then you get to see a player like Vince, he's a Net Hall of Famer.
We went to the finals, like the NBA finals. Vince got us, and Jason, and they got us there. Like,
no, that was before Vince.
That was before.
Was that before Vince?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Well,
yeah, we never reached with Vince.
But at least Vince brought it there. We were like a playoff contending, like we were in the playoffs at least. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I understand like why the Nets did it, because he was so like monumental and like just the hype of the Nets. Just the hype of the Nets. It wasn't like, I'm not saying he got rings or anything, but like Saint was saying, we're not no championship. Oh, we got 7, 8, 9 rings. Like, we're not that type of franchise, bro. Like,
we are cherishing a good player that played for our organization.
Like,
is that a crime? Do that? Like,
and depending on how long you have watched, like, it just, for me as a fan, it was either like there were obviously when Vince was here, I loved it. Obviously, Jason Kidd and the back-to-back, like loved it. Like I had already been in California that when they came out to LA. So that shit was awesome to me. Right. And then outside of that, it's just like random years where I was like, you know what, I'll pay attention. Because there were a lot of years where I just said, you could ask me a question about the Nets and I would be like, I have no idea what's going on with them because they were that bad. you know?
Because before KD and Kyrie and before probably like Darren Williams, like if you think about the Nets, you thought about J. Kidd, Vince Carter. That's the only people you thought about if you talk about Nets. But before, I'm talking about this Darren Williams.
If you grew up like me, you looked at guys like Brooke Lopez.
Yeah, but
like
there were in between moves there with some players that you just got to enjoy. That even though the season was like nothing, and you could say you had a couple of those seasons in Brooklyn before things kind of got exciting.
Somebody in the chat asked if KD should get his, or what do you say, KD? Somebody said, shout out to Perk, he said Kmart, Richard Jefferson, D. Will, Lopez, or KD. Like somebody,
more than likely Richard Jefferson and Kenyon Martin get theirs before
you think so?
anybody. Beforehand, I think more like for KD, I think he more likely gets it retired by the Warriors before anything.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna retire KD's.
Yeah.
Well, I think you'll see Lopez's get retired as soon as he's done playing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lopez is our all-time leading scorer.
Yeah, he's a guaranteed. I think that will eventually, like when he retires and stop playing ball, his will easily go up in the rafters.
Easily.
D. Will, I would not retire. Fuck D. Will.
Yeah,
D-Will's not gonna get retired.
It's up with that one.
I could see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Richard Jeff.
Nah, he wasn't like monumental as Vince and J Kid, bro.
I mean,
Vince and J Kid were monumental.
But then the Kenyon Martin Nets. Well, that was when they were in that relationship didn't end well.
No shade to Kmart, like he was great, but I'm saying like Vince and J Kid are just like
he'll always be an all-time.
And shout out to Kmart Jr. I hope we sign him, and he's available this offseason. Hopefully we can get him.
Real quick, guys. Shout out to the Broken Way on Twitter. He put out a tweet saying that from Sham saying that Mitchell is eligible for a 5-year extension, $270 million with the Cavs, or from free agency 4 years, $200 million.
So we would if he wants to extend with us, it would be 4 years, $200 million.
Yeah. So he would lose money.
Are you ready to throw $200 million at Donovan? Are you ready? Are you ready? Matt, sound off. Like, are you
$200 million? How much is that a year? Somebody do the math. How much is that a year, man?
50.
How much is that a year?
50?
Yeah.
AJ's
We're gonna get that $50 million a year for Donovan.
Oh, that's another thing that we haven't talked about. See, these players are going to make so much money.
TV deals, like the NBA is going to be making a lot more money. Like these deals look crazy now, but these deals they would age well. The NBA is going to be making a lot more money. They're going to be making a lot more money.
Yeah.
Another reason why I want to rebuild is because a rookie max is less money than a max from somebody like a Donovan Mitchell, who's been in the league for years. Like, it's less money.
Oh, wow. Yo, there's a lot of reports coming out now. They're saying Jared Allen, some member of the Cavs were frustrated with Jared Allen after he refused an injection and tried to numb in pain and play through his rib injury. Yo, the Cavs got some like turmoil in that organization right now.
I'm not gonna lie. I can't lie. Ever since Jared Allen said the lights got too bright, been looking at him completely different.
I mean, Jared Allen was good.
Wait. Did you see
he said, I ain't gonna lie, the lights got too bright, looked at him completely different.
Yo,
I looked at his Nets tenure completely different.
Did you see the view of him that they shot of him earlier in the game? It was like some weird, like, angled where they were like up above him and he was like staring right at the camera awkwardly when nobody else was and listen, I will defend like unsung hero or whatever, like yeah, dude, I'm sorry, but I know what you just said, Chubbs, but that dude's always like, for me, he was like he'll always be one of my favorite Nets. I know he's got
he's my favorite.
I know the fro has wilted, but at the same time, like, he just has a special place in my heart. Like when he was here and some of those games, like, yeah. But I think if I remember correctly, when they drafted him, I don't know if it was an analyst or somebody saying that like this guy literally had to convince himself to play basketball because he really didn't like care to.
Damn. That's
like crazy. There was something where just like he was just like, whatever. It was a long time ago that I remember hearing or reading that, and I mean, listen, he'll always still be one of my favorite Nets, but yeah, he's
Softy.
He is Mr. Softy ice cream.
he's starting
He is-
he's
he is
starting to have more soft games than
Yo,
Then
but
what-
this.
because
Do you
every
think-
once in a while though he'll come out, he'll block the fuck out of and you'll be like, yo, like that was the one cool thing about him is every once in a while he just would come out of nowhere and block like the best player, and you were like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But he
Now,
just
Jared
did,
Allen had his run. He did.
yeah, he just didn't do it consistently enough for me.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Jared
Um,
Allen is still a very good basketball.
yes, he is.
Yeah. He'll still give you 16. I think was he like averaging 16 and 11. So this Donovan free agent, like, so he would be leaving if he wants to leave the Cavs. He will be leaving, I guess, $70 million on the table if he wanted to an extension with a new team. So he would get
And he
two,
would be
which
going
is,
to-
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I don't know how rich Donovan is, but do you
Is
think
it
he's
New York a higher tax bracket too as well? I believe.
Yeah.
It is.
So it's like, I know people think like, whoa, he's not going to leave 70 mil, but some of these guys are already like Donovan's not poor. We'll
Well, you
say that.
factor in 70 mil and then you factor in the tax aspect of it. That's a lot of
So
money.
do you think he weighs that heavily in his heart? Like he's like, oh
No,
man,
again,
I'm still getting 200 mil, but
bro,
you know.
this comes down to the same thing where there's been a lot of players faced in their career where it's like, yo, I can get the bag, but I got to stay in Cleveland,
Mhm.
or I can take less. And yes, financially, it's a lot less, but I'm home.
Yeah.
And some people take that opportunity and some don't, and it's like, I get, is that, but see, that's the other thing. Like if you look at the reports that have come out, right? Like you could look at the Garland, the most recent one you just read is that counter op saying like, yo, hey, we'll get this out of here. We'll get that person out of here. We'll get the coach out of here. What do you want, Donovan? We want to keep you. You know what I mean? But then that's the other thing. Do we know the Cleveland wants to give him 270 million?
That's the thing. Yeah. It's like we don't know. When Sham said like they have to choose between.
I don't even know how. I'd be interested to hear how this is one thing I would be interested to hear. How do Cleveland Cavalier fans feel about it right now? Do they want to keep him?
Yeah.
Do they want to pay him 270 million? Is that what they want their team to do? And then,
Yeah, I would love for if you're any Cavs fans watching, please come up because I just want to know what Cavs fans are thinking right now.
Just comment in the chat of like
Comment in the I don't think we can see Twitter comments, but yeah, comment in the chat. Can we see Twitter comments? Can you see it?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
if you want to participate in the chat, you gotta hop on.
Yeah, because I'm really trying to figure out what are Cavs fans thinking right now because it seems like they have to choose between Darius and Donovan. I mean, if you're the Cavs, if I'm a Cavs fan, I'm thinking Donovan is the obvious choice, but Darius is 24 years old and he's still a good player. You know what I'm saying?
He's also the homegrown kid.
Yeah, he's the homegrown kid, so it's like you could go either way. I'm trying to figure out what they want to do.
Yeah, this is a good point. What I'm doing right now is playing devil's advocate. I'm throwing questions out there because there's a lot of questions to be answered here. This could go a couple different ways.
Yeah.
You don't know, like, is the team trying to keep him, and then are they doing the, hey, let's make all these moves to please him to keep him? Who knows?
Yeah,
it's going to be
like you said, Donovan's going to have to make a choice. Like I said, he's going to have to make a choice if he's going to leave money on the table and if he's going to want to come home and play in New York over a contending team or go to a contending team.
Anthony is saying Cavs fan hate Mitchell.
Oh, wow. That's
really?
Crazy. Why would they hate him, though? He was carrying them. He's literally carrying them.
Hey, but okay, let's be fair. We've heard everybody say he is not like the piece that can get you to the championship. You obviously need to build more around him, and you almost need another star, correct?
Yeah.
So, do you want to spend that much money?
Yeah, you're right. 270 mil is a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
You were a Cavs fan, like, would you? Okay, if he was on our team right now, would you want to give him 270 million?
Ooh. Who, Donovan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
You would?
Well, we have no choice because you can't let That's just a max.
Okay,
max is where you are.
or free agency with us.
Yeah, I would do it.
200 plus is a lot of money for Mitchell. I'm not, and that's the
going
problem.
rate.
And
That's
see,
the going
that's
rate for him.
the problem. And that's the problem is because, and this is where I think Nets fans do start getting divided, is because a lot of people, including myself, really do want to rebuild the right way. I just know I just know it's not going to happen. So it's like I don't waste my time.
Exactly. That's how I feel too. I feel
like
exactly
I don't bring it up or I don't try to argue for it because I just know it's not going to happen, right? Like, are decisions going to put us in that position? Who knows? But it's like that's not where my energy's at anymore because I know I'm not going to get it. But
yeah, that's because I need to see what our cap space. I would give Donovan the 200, but I got to see what our cap space is in 2025, like including what, like, you know, if we get rid of Ben, if they trade DFS or CJ, I want to see how much cap space we have left because we could have a lot of space left, even if we give Donovan the max.
The problem with getting Mitchell is you can't just stop with Mitchell. There's got to be more, and it's got to be quickly.
Yeah, you got to build around him.
That's the thing. Whenever I get into arguments, which I've stopped doing, what I've tried to stop doing, is, hey, you cannot trade, and this is why this is what I've adamantly said, and I'm not gonna change my mind on this. If you trade for Mitchell, and you're not going to get Mitchell on a discount, and then you have to trade for somebody else, you are not going to win a championship. You will not have the depth left over to have a good roster to win a championship. And it's true because we've done this before. The Clippers have done it. You cannot trade all these assets for stars and expect to have, you're just going to have 2 stars and a bunch of vet minimum guys.
Yeah. The big 3 route, I think it's very overdated now in the NBA. Like now, I think we are entering the new stage of depth. Big guy, every position big. You got 6'7", 6'8" modern wings. Every position versatile, and the league is getting bigger. And then you got teams with deeper. Yeah, we got rosters that are going 6, 7, 8, 7, 8 deep.
The Nets go that route again, though, dude. And I think that's why they're looking at why they look at McCall and CJ and them as because they're like these star lights, if you want to call them. They'll be amazing next to Donovan Mitchell and whoever else we bring in if we did, right? Good luck.
Good luck.
Crazy.
Good luck trying to. That's okay. That my last words is, hey, you have a very ambitious plan ahead of you. I can tell you've been putting some thought into it. Good luck. I hope it works out for your sake and me as a fan. But yeah, dude, I'm still at that point where this can go.
Yeah.
So many different directions.
Shout out to Anthony Paris. Yeah, he mentioned the new CBA. That's another good point. Why the new CBA, the CBA that they implanted is basically forcing teams to build through the draft. You know, they're not. Every time you try to do what we did and buy, a championship, sign big 3 superstars, there's a lot of penalties in the CBA now that affect you if you try to go that route. So the CBA is basically telling you build through the draft or build a deeper team. So that's kind of the route where I feel like the NBA is going to be going. And you see these teams, the Nuggets, Wolves, these teams go 6, 7, 8 deep. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, if there's anything that I'm watching the playoffs, there is enough players out there for you to build the team the right way if you just fucking slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
I know Sean Marks is fucking GMing for his job right now, but please don't fucking show you learned something.
Yeah.
Oh no, saying he hasn't learned anything. The fact that he's doing this again.
We're about to we get see, but Cypher, you know what's glorious is we actually get another chance to find out.
He hasn't learned anything.
We get another glorious chance.
I love Syfe.
Find out.
Cook him, Syfe. No. Let Syfe cook. Cook him, Syfe. Why hasn't Sean learned anything, man?
Because the strategy is wrong. It's inherently wrong. We have the good thing about the Nets is that, hey, we have a decade of evidence that says, hey, this thing that we're doing, trading all your picks for these star caliber players, it doesn't work. And look, people are going to say, oh, if Kyrie did this, Kyrie did that, if Harden didn't quit. It's just a bad strategy. And if you want to look at a team outside of the Nets, look at the Clippers. did the same thing as us, didn't work. You just can't trade all these picks and expect to build a good team. You're not going to do it. Your window is too small. The room for error is too small. You don't have the picks to make extra moves to get role players you need if your roster isn't going to be perfect. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And the fact that we're doing this again, and Sean Marks is going to have another chance, and this is like he's going to do it again. And not only people forget this, but we're not going to just have to trade the Phoenix picks. We're going to have to trade more of our picks. 2029 Nets, 2028 Nets, 2030 Nets, 2031 Nets. Like by the end of this mess, the Nets won't be drafting until maybe 2032, 2033 if Sean Marks is still the GM.
Oh.
And that's the problem. Like we are going to keep digging ourselves into this hole. And at what point do we say, hey, the strategy is wrong. We got to do it through the draft. And people are going to cite all these examples. No, Detroit, Charlotte, the Timberwolves for 20 years, the Kings. Those are all examples where, hey, the team just didn't know how to draft. They just didn't know how to draft well. And you could look at this is my final argument. This is the best piece of evidence I could give you. Since 1980, of the 44 teams that have won the NBA championship, 42 of them have done it by either having their best player drafted or signed in free agency. The only two examples, the exceptions, are the 2019 Raptors, who traded for Kawhi Leonard for pennies on the dollar, and the 83 Sixers, who bought Julius Erving from us.
Cook, sorry, cooking right now. Woo! Yo, hit that like button for us, man. Cypher is cooking right now, bro.
Yeah.
How many times? Hey, Cypher, how many times did you hear Sean Marks mention flexibility?
47 times.
How much?
And that's accurate. And that's fucking accurate.
That's fucking accurate, right? Okay, so then my next
accurate.
question, Cypher, is how much of that do you think he's actually going to sacrifice this offseason?
Maybe if he trades for Mitchell, I think he's just going to run it with Mitchell for a year and then bank on 2025.
Do you got on? The way I look at it, as soon as he trades away that flexibility, he's sealed his fate one way or the other. Yeah. His flexibility is what's keeping his job alive right now, to be able to pivot any which way. And I just wonder how cautious he's going to be with that.
Yeah, I do feel like he might move different because of the past. Like we saw the fleasing of what we've had. Yeah.
Flexibility, because we've heard that a ridiculous amount of times. He's like, we could go anyway. We could do whatever we want. That's that's my non-Sean Marks in a prick, but that's like if
you do whatever you want.
Like Sean Marks was, if he was born in America, that's how he would sound, and his name would be Chad.
Sean do be gassing it though. He be like, it's like he reads off a script every time he gets interviewed. He just reads off a script. Like,
well, he goes between reading a script, regurgitating the same shit, and then he tries to get puff his chest out a little bit, and that's usually when he sits back in his chair, and then his high water pant legs go up to about his knee.
He did the high water.
His high water
looks like the dude wearing capris. I seen that. Yeah, dude, come on.
To the New Zealand pants.
And he was feeling himself that day, dude.
Yo, Sean is really hilarious.
Let me get this in before we go out here. Off topic from basketball. What are your thoughts on the Drake versus Kendrick beef?
Damn, son. That's tough right now. Let me know in the chat. Just go on the chat real quick. Let us know who you got, Drake, Kendrick, who you guys thought won that battle.
I'm gonna gracefully bow out of this conversation.
It's gonna be
let you youngins have it, but I'll just say this. Mm-hmm. I think J. Cole played chess and was like, he knew some shit, and he was like, it's time for me to grow up. I don't want.
You saw J. Cole at the beach? You saw J. Cole at the beach?
Hey, dude, J. Cole's L compared to Drake's L. I don't know, bro. I'd go J. Cole's L all the
way. I'll say this with J. Cole. Was it a smart business move? He saw
what was coming and is like, oh, shit. You know what? I reached nirvana. I've been meditating. I'm out, bro. And then all that shit went down. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Nah.
Go ahead, man.
That was hip hop. Like that. Granted, it went left. But then again, that was still hip hop. That is two of the best rappers of my generation going at it, and it lived up to the hype because if you really know, this was brewing for like a decade now.
Yeah. I
When
love the
Drake
battle.
brought Kendrick back on his first tour, that was brewing for a decade, and you can tell who was really waiting for this battle to happen, and who really didn't care and kind of just wanted to do it for funsies. I ain't gonna.
Did you see the video where the fan caught J. Cole with a little beat machine fucking meditating on the
He was
beat?
like hit the headphones. He's like, that's sick. How you able to with headphones in a
What
laptop?
you all fighting about? He's like, I'm out here creating God's work.
Well, I'll say this with J. Cole, you automatically lock yourself as number 3 compared to the 2.
Yeah.
I don't
know,
think you
dude.
understand. In terms of hip hop thing, I might get killed for this, but J. Cole went on a Busta Rhymes-esque feature run. For the past 3 years, he went on a crazy feature run.
He was killing
where like
features.
every verse, every freestyle, it's like you had to be there. And technically he's like the best rapper and lyricist of the 3. Yeah. And I'll always stand on that. So it's kind of disappointing he bowed out the way he did, but I kind of understand it. Yeah. Still a L, but I understand it.
My thoughts was like I'm probably like I like Drake and Kendrick, like I'm a fan of both, but I'm probably more a Drake fan. Like I listen to more Drake than Kendrick. Kendrick Not Like Us was incredible. I thought that was I had Drake winning until Not Like Us dropped. When Not Like Us dropped, I was like, oh, it's over. I was like, I heard that Muzzin on a beat. I was like, ooh, it's over after that. But really great battle, man. Like love those two artists. I'm still gonna bump Drake. Like I know the internet's coming from crazy, but I'm still gonna bump him. I don't know.
And you know what? AJ? This did a lot for a lot of people. Because number one, it humbled Drake to a degree. He's not the rapper that he puts himself. He sees himself as the Kanye West type of guy.
Yeah.
And he didn't see you can tell from the music, he didn't think Kendrick was really like that with him. No pun intended.
Yeah. And then he underestimated him big time. Like it was bad. Like, yeah.
It was just like punch after punch after punch. And even with Family Matters, which in itself was a nuke, like the fact that he responded perfectly within 20 minutes kind of, one, confirmed there's a mole in your camp, and two, he hushed up anybody that was listening to that song.
Yeah. Stepped on Family Matters. Like his strategy was amazing. It was great. I couldn't deny it.
Yep. It's confirmed. K-Dot's camp told Cole.
How he's going Kendrick called him as like, stay out of this.
I'll be in a dude. Coldplay lost me Coldplay lost me a long time ago, dude.
Shout out to that YouTube What's the Dirt, because they explained everything what happened in all the disses, and Kendrick was dissing J. Cole in that Euphoria song. Like he said some bars, like some hidden bars in there. So, but hey, J. Cole they's probably still mans, but yeah. All right,
Real quick, does Drake have a secret daughter?
Yo, everybody was saying about that, but I think it's not
secret daughter. Cypher's like, I gotta know about this.
No, I'll say this. I don't listen to either of those guys. Like I have a weird taste in music. Like I listen to a lot of different shit.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm with Cypher on that. If you asked me to name one of their songs, I couldn't.
Yeah. Okay, well, Saint, let me put it like this. Imagine Jay-Z drops
Jay-Z Nas. It's Jay-Z Nas.
Like imagine Jay-Z drops Takeover, and then 20 minutes later Nas drops Ether in real time.
Yeah, no, I get that to your generation. I guess for me, it's like when I hear these guys rap, I'm not impressed. I'm more impressed with their beats than I am with their lyrics. I understand some of the songs that I hear have like a hell of a message, like more from Kendrick, but it just, I don't know. It's a different vibe, man. And I haven't been able to, I'm still stuck in that early 2000s.
Still in the 90s.
Dude, I am like, and I'm stuck more in underground. Like I'll find shit more underground type stuff. But
yeah, okay.
I mean, and you know what I listen to now, Chubbs. Like I've all but stopped listening to music that
I know your style. You listen to more,
like
Listen to
Saints
the
are
beats.
instrumental. Saints like the
I'm
Wu
a
Tang.
beat master, dude.
Yeah, he's like the Woots. Like all the samples you hear in today's music, Saints listen to all the samples, like but just the instrumentals. Those
Dude,
are
I
all
have
the
gone
samples.
down the greatest instrumental rabbit hole that I have records that are from either from 50 all the way up till like now, and it's just all based in that. But
All
yeah,
the
that's
you
where
are
I
good at
started.
sampling. Say would be the good sampler guy who uses all
Oh,
the
hey, I mean,
samples.
Chubbs knows. I'm always sending Chubb. He knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you send me some good stuff, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's good, man. But like, shout out to Drake, shout out to Kendrick. Probably the best rap
Facts.
beef we've had in a while. There was previous rap beefs, but when two, like, not to the magnitude of two giants like this, like,
yeah,
like shout out to Future and Metro, because they kind of they pulled the pin on the grenade, and now they made hip hop kind of interesting again. Like, it was kind of getting redundant, and now
I'm hoping that hip hop kind of starts. I don't know. I have a feeling it's gonna. I think the appeal of just bragging, like the aspect of rap where it's just like brag about what you got type. I think you're gonna. I think it's gonna get more. I think you're gonna start seeing more lyricists with deeper meaning shit. Like,
not
that's
saying
a rap
like,
I really enjoy.
This is the first time for a while where the braggadocious did not get you any points. It was about
exactly. That's what I love.
Why I love this so much. It came to spit your hottest shit. Fuck the charting hits. Like, fuck all that. Spit the hottest. Get in the booth and spit your hottest verses. Like rap.
Yeah.
That's why I like this. It came down to rap. Get in the booth and put down.
And I mean, and that's what, but see, and that, like, I understand there's the aspect of hip hop that there's always going to be battle rap, right? Like, it's always, that's a separate thing. It's always going to be, but on one level too, where it's like, where I think a lot of people let hip hop go or let the industry like take over and do just scandalous, dumb shit and just make it like almost pop rap. I call it pop rap. Quite honestly, a lot of the shit you guys be arguing with about some of the artists, not all of them, but some of them are, to me, are just straight pop rap. Like, what was it? I agree with what Mos Def said that one day. Like, if I was in a mall, I wouldn't be surprised I heard Drake
at H&M or something like that, or like,
yeah, like it wouldn't surprise. Like, to me, I get what he was saying. I know people got offended by that, but I honestly, to me, I felt like I understood what he was saying with that.
Yeah. Shout out to Drake and Kendrick. Shout out to Vince Carter, getting his number retired, man. Good stuff today, man. Good stuff. We will continue to keep you guys updated about this Donovan situation. It's gonna be ongoing, you know. Basically, this is gonna be our content. It's gonna be our Donovan or bust.
We haven't talked as a group in a while either.
Yeah.
So,
but now at least we have this off season. Yeah.
Shout out to Cypher, Chubbs, AJ. Glad to talk to you guys.
Yeah, at least we have an off-season center now. Like, we can center it around somebody now. So it's like we have a focus. We'll keep you guys updated. Like, everything we hear, we'll try to keep you guys updated, and we'll see what happens. Will the Nets trade for Donovan? You know, are we gonna keep Cam Thomas? You know, are we gonna go for trade? Who's gonna be on the market? A lot of questions, man. But if you're not tuned in, Instagram is Nets Kingdom 1. Follow us on our Twitters are at the bottom scrolling. TikTok, we're on TikTok also, and follow us on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube, check out our YouTube, Nets Kingdom, and Hoops World. Hoops World is our NBA YouTube, so subscribe to Hoops World too. We drop NBA content on there. The Mavs is cooking right now, so appreciate you guys again. Hit that like button for us, and we'll be back sooner than later. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Love you guys, everybody in Nets World. I'll shout out a few people who was in here. Anthony Purris, Perk, what's good? Perk 30. Ramon, hey Ramon. Everybody on Twitter, hey, what's up? DJ, my guy OG DJ. Justin Luckett was in here. Shout out to Justin Luckett, OG.
I didn't see that. I didn't catch
it.
Yeah,
Justin Luckett was in here. Brian V, Pete. Who else was in here? Usable Fiber, some of the old heads. AK718. Appreciate all you guys, everybody that's in the chat. All right, guys.